Creationists are apparently stronger than we thought, and they're trying to ruin the country. Might sound like an overstatement, but hear me out, and you'll realize exactly what I'm saying here. An article from Stephanie Simon in Politico lays out in grueling detail what's happening across the U.S. with our schools. Quote, taxpayers in 14 states will bankroll nearly $1 billion this year in tuition for private schools, including hundreds of religious schools that teach Earth is less than 10,000 years old, Adam and Eve strolled the garden with dinosaurs, and much of modern biology, geology, and cosmology is a web of lies. Let me repeat that. 1 billion tax dollars going to private schools that teach the world is less than 10,000 years old, and Adam and Eve were walking around with T-Rexes. This is in the United States of America. Yeah, you know that whole establishment clause thing? You know the idea about how the government should not be picking one religion or funding one religion over another religion or promoting one religion over another religion or non-religion? Yeah, apparently that's all out the window here. So what's happening is a gargantuan push for an increase in vouchers, which is public dollars to private schools. So when Politico looked into these textbooks that these schools are using, it was unbelievable. Quote, one set of books popular in Christian schools calls evolution a wicked and vain philosophy. Another derides modern math theorists, oh great, they're against math now too, who fail to view mathematics as absolute laws ordained by God. The publisher notes that its textbooks shun modern breakthroughs, even those like set theory, developed back in the 19th century. Math teachers often set aside time each week, even in geometry and algebra, to explore numbers in the Bible, and students learn vocabulary with sentences like, many scientists today are creationists. Yeah, that would be false, and this is unbelievable. It's like we're living in Saudi Arabia or Iran. Now, seriously, this is exactly what the Taliban is in favor of this. They just want to do it with their religion. They just want to do it with a different religion, but it's the same thing in principle. Shove the religion down everybody's throat and indoctrinate them. Now, let me give you a few more numbers on this. This is alarming. About 250,000 students use vouchers. That's just a fraction of the 55 million public school students in the U.S., but it's up about 30% from 2010, and it's continuing to increase. So just to give you one example, in Florida, for instance, public subsidies are set to rise from $286 million this year to about $700 million in 2018. Wow. 26 states in total are now considering enacting new voucher programs. So what we're looking at here is an all-out assault on education in America. 26 states are considering enacting new voucher programs. That's more than half of the states in the United States. Look at what I just went through right here, all the indoctrination, and they say, rock and roll, that's exactly what we want to do right there. That scares me, man. I mean, that shows the future is dark. If these guys win, and they are winning right now because they're seeing an increase in what they want to implement, but if these guys win in the long run, we're fucked, man, because you can't, they wouldn't teach global warming, they wouldn't teach actual science. If we don't learn about evolution, then where are the next breakthroughs in antibiotics going to come from with these superbugs that are evolving right now? Where are the doctors going to come from in the future if everybody's walking around ignorant as fuck, believing in Adam and Eve? I mean, it's just, we're making it so that we regress if we go down this road. You know, we are going to become more third world-like if we go down this road. And I mean, already with our economic situation and the fact that we're not really living in a functioning democracy anymore, it's like a kleptocracy, government of, by, and for the rich. That's another reason why we're moving closer to a second world or third world type system here. But this is putting us on the fucking fast track, man. That is insanity to think that in the year 2014, we're looking at going backwards. And the final thing I'll throw out here about this isn't an accident. You want to know why there's been a rebirth of this kind of thinking being pushed on our children? It's because the right-wing think tanks have provided the money to buy the politicians, and then the politicians push through these ideas. And that comes in the form of the American Enterprise Institute as just one example. It's a right-wing think tank. Other Koch-backed groups. They're one of the biggest people behind the funding for this. They are giving a tremendous amount of money to the politicians, and the politicians are turning around and enacting what they want. This is what they want. You keep a whole society of people ignorant and indoctrinated, and what have you created? Obedient workers. And there's nothing that the Koch brothers want more than a country of obedient workers.